Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in once again. Tonight we have a very special guest from the New York chapter, um, Sir Nongsky Aquino. Uh, he is the chapter commander. As you know, the Musings of the Knights of Rizal has this special segment we call Know Your Knights. Basically, it's just a time for us to delve in a little bit on a night, a specific night that we see on Facebook with his um, post and videos, and kind of get to know them better. Can you tell me about yourself, sir?
Yes. Hi, I'm Sir Nanong Aquino, KCR, Chapter Commander of Knights of Rizal, New York. I have been a member of the organizations for 4 years since 2016. I am a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Economics in University of Santo Tomas. I moved in the U.S. Right after graduation. I have been working in retail at Macy's Herald Square here in New York for 36 years. I am married with two children. I have been attending community events since my wife was active in the community and to support my friends in their events.
Okay.
I was introduced to the Knights of Rizal and I felt the camaraderie and I decided to be active. During my tenure, we have done a lot of projects and events, such as giving Rizal books to youth, the two novels Nole Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. During the Paaralan sa Konsulado, attended Philippine Independence Day parades in New York and New Jersey, celebration of the birth anniversary and death anniversary of Dr. Jose Rizal's at the Philippine Consulate, where we were privileged to have Sir Ambeto Campo and Sir Alejo Ibanez as our guest speakers, and Knights of Rizal Awards for Excellence, where we awarded individuals who has excel in the fields of health and science, community, arts and literature, youth and education, and we also gave the first Knights of Rizal Heritage Award, where we acknowledge the works of an individual, group, or organization that has exceptionally and singularly moved the ideals and values of Dr. Jose Rizal.
In Is there any particular experience before you joined the Knights of Rizal, that you thought that the Knights of Rizal was a right fit for you?
Uh, when I started in the chapter, there were only a few of us active, and there were not much projects or events planned. We have thought of helping our chapter monetarily and also to be known in the community as an active organization. I chaired my first project, which was like a bingo fundraiser. It was a fun way of activating our members, inviting our colleagues in the community, and to raise funds for the chapter. The event was a success, and we have donated part of the proceeds to an individual for his medical needs who had an eye operation in the Philippines. Uh, in the beginning, it was new. I was invited, but I wasn't really paying attention to to the details of what are the projects of of Rizal and all of that. And then it was later then that I realized, because when I was invited, I did the orientation and then I just listened to what your mission and vision. but I wasn't really into it yet until later on that I realized it.
What change made you change your mind? Is there a specific experience, a specific event that you said, "Okay, I'm gonna join the Knights of Rizal now. I'm ready."
Oh no, when I was after the when I was knighted, it was during my first what is that again? The USA Regional Assembly in Las Vegas. I was excited to meet KOR members from different states and countries, and to meet the Supreme Council. I was amazed how fast I bonded with my brother knights, how much we have in common. Since I was a new chapter commander by then, they have given me advice on what to do. They shared their experiences and they made me feel that I can count on them. Uh, if ever I will be needing any advice or help, uh, they just ask me, like, just give them a call. And then that really inspired me to do my best and eventually be like these great leaders.
Okay. So basically, when you started, when you got in initially, when you got in the Knights of Rizal, you weren't really uh, resolved in the organization until you went to Las Vegas. What do you think was your advantage in during that time as a young, energetic guy?
It's like I want like some changes, some change in like the way you know how do you call this, the chapter, how to deal with the chapter, since most of our, at the time when I joined, there's a lot of the new members that we recruited are more like younger. So the mentality, not really young, but the mentality is different. We are more like very active, and we have different ideas, and we listen to each other, and then that's where we, uh, the bonding grows, keep growing stronger, and the ideas is like unending new ideas.
Sir Nongsky, what excites you in the Knights of Rizal? What makes your heart skip a beat in the Knights of Rizal?
Sir Alan, what excites me is I always look forward to meeting my fellow knights in our regional or international events. I look forward to sharing with them and learning together about Rizal. Also, in our local chapters, whenever we have meetings and there are projects, I get excited with the suggestions of our members. Although we cannot do all of them, but you know that there is a team effort and you feel that the team is working. After listening to all the, whenever we have the assembly, and then we listen to the lectures, and then we exchange, opinions, and then after that we go uh, have fun, and then we excites me to meet other brother knights,
Mhm.
and then it's the camaraderie that you can only sometimes experience it only in the sometimes in the assembly, where you were able to meet some brother knights that you didn't even know, and then
So,
that
mhm. So you're caught in the moment, the pageantry and the grand environment in an activity such as an assembly. You kind of absorb the energy from it, and that really gets you going.
yes.
Um, in the Knights of Rizal and that 4 years, can you mention to me something that was really fun that you did? For instance, meeting a celebrity, a KOR celebrity, maybe, or maybe um, enjoying the the dinner, or being able to introduce the next speaker, or maybe even being the main speaker? What is it in the night of Rizal that is fun for you, that you experience fun?
The most fun that I experience is when I meet my fellow knights from different parts of the country and the world. I made lasting friendship with like the Hawaii chapters, Cleveland, New Jersey, Montreal, and Texas chapters. We keep in touch on a regular basis. Even though we are far from each other, we still get a chance to connect and just talk about anything. I look forward in the regional and international events for us to be together again and just to have fun.
Now, in your local chapter, I know you've been twice. This is your second term, and this is you're going to your fourth year as chapter commander. What do you cherish about your local chapter, the New York chapter?
Uh, the most I cherish in our local chapter is our members. You will see the genuine eagerness of these members to uphold the ideals and values of Rizal in their own little way. You might not see them in the meetings. Most of them, you might not see them in the meetings most of the time, but they will show their support in our events and projects. One example is when we had our Knights of Rizal Awards for Excellence. We decided to hold it in a Carnegie Hall, which is one of the premier events placed in New York City. Knowing this undertaking, we had a couple members who helped in producing the money for the down payment of the place. We all agreed that just in case the event doesn't produce enough income in the end to return their investment, they were willing to donate the amount to the organization, and if we were still lack funds to pay for the expenses that we will be shouldering the rest of the cost. That really pushed me to work hard even more to make the event a success. Um, I am very grateful for their support in helping me achieve my vision for the event. Even during the planning, when there were a lot of doubts and uncertainty, they stuck by me to make sure the event was a success. Even in the last minute of the event, they worked tirelessly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there in as we know, Jose Rizal is multifaceted. He's a sculptor, he's a writer, he's a traveler, he's a doctor. Is there any one aspect of Jose Rizal that impressed you?
Uh, there was an like when I was impressed by Rizal when he was in the Pitan. Or I remember when he won the lottery,
That's right.
and then a few thousands of I don't know how many thousands
I
of
think it
that,
was
and then
6,000.
he
Or
used that
yeah,
to buy yeah, so he used that to buy an estate. So he make his home a house. I think there was like I remember there was a hexagonal house, and then there was a square house, and these are for there are house for the kids, and then there are houses for the patients for the who are sick, and then there are and then later on it turns into like hospital. And then I was really I really admire him because it's not about the money, it's that he uses all of this to it's not for himself but to help out more. So that really inspired me in how he thinks. And he really wanted to even though he was a prisoner over there, he make use of that, not uh, like not affecting him at all, that I have to move on. I have to do something about this place, and that really gets me in how
Yeah,
he really thinks, the way he do things. Once his mind is set up, it will just
yeah. It's really
you can
remarkable
just do
how.
whatever you can.
That's right. It's really remarkable how he was banished in the Pitan, and he did not only change the lives of the people there by teaching them how to fish, uh, uh, giving education to the kids
The
on
irrigation system.
doing the irrigation system,
Yes.
especially with the money that he won in the lottery. When
Yeah.
Rizal was in Europe, he there were times that he couldn't fend for himself because of the lack of money from coming from Manila. But just his mindset of instead of uh, taking that money and using it on himself, he really had this mindset of community service, even under strenuous circumstances.